everybody. Wanted to give you kind of a last big update on what's going to happen with our storm for tonight, Christmas Eve, into tomorrow, Christmas morning. Not a ton has changed. I've still got the same concerns I had before. Although I would say the timing on the storm is delayed a little bit. The front seems to be slowing down a little bit. That could be both good and bad for us. Bad because it means the precipitation will probably happen over a slightly longer period of time. Good because the first wave of low pressure may slide just west of us here in southern Vermont, which would be good. Basically, there's going to be two waves of low pressure that ride up along the front, and if we get hit by both of them, because with each one will come a real heavy burst of rain. If we got hit by both of them, that would be where we would see kind of our worst case scenario for flooding issues. I think we're probably not going to get hit by both. It doesn't mean we won't have any flooding issues. We're still looking at easily 2 to probably 3 inches of rain, which is enough to cause some maybe minor issues. But if we get anything over 3 inches of rain, we really start to get into places where the water could be over the roads in several spots. Wind will still continue to be a problem. I think power outages will definitely happen. Hopefully not too widespread, but I think you should be prepared to lose power for up to 24 hours. I don't think it'll be incredibly widespread like we've seen in some usually like heavier snow events. We had a couple of Novembers ago where a lot of people lost power for multiple days. I don't think we'll see too much of that happening, but I do think you should be prepared that there could be some significant power outages and be prepared to lose power for about a day. Not necessarily. I'm sure that's not what you want to hear, but and also travel tomorrow morning. Just if you do not need to travel tomorrow, please don't, because it's going to be there could be trees in the road, there could be water in the road. It's just not going to be a good time to be out there traveling. Wait till afternoon if you can at all tomorrow. What's going on? You can see here. Let me show you our surface front here. You can see this is our main low pressure system. It's sliding up into Canada. That's why we're all rain. We're on the east side of that. And then along the front, here's our first wave of low pressure, and we'll show you how strong the radar echoes are with that, how heavy the rain is already with this. This will also develop a second area of low pressure along the front. The first one, like I said, does the heavy rain from this storm hit us with the first clump? That would probably be just after midnight when we would see the chance for that heavy rain, or does that slide just to our west? We'll still be raining, but do we end up with just kind of some moderate rain out of this first wave, and then a real heavy batch comes through with the second wave? We could also theoretically possibly see the second wave head through just to our east. So it's really only if an area probably gets hit with both waves, or like the heaviest part of both waves, that the real bad flooding issues would be caused. That's where we could maybe get 4 inches of rain. I don't think that's a high likelihood. I think we'll miss one of them, the heaviest part of one of them, probably, but we need to be prepared for some flooding issues. Like if you heard last night, I don't think this is going to be the kind of situation. This is not Irene or anything like that. It's not, but it is flooding to take seriously, so I don't think we'd have any. I don't think there'll be a lot of property issues, but roadways could certainly be covered in those spots where the roads get down near the rivers where splashover happens. In the Londonderry area, there was a couple Aprils ago we had a place where up in Weston they had some water over the road on Route 100. We had water over the road in the village in Londonderry and right basically up to the fire station in South Londonderry. So that's, I think, probably about a worst case scenario. I don't think that's that likely even to get quite that bad, but it's definitely possible. And if it gets that bad, it means there's some places you can't really drive, and it means that it means our fire department in South Londonderry means we need to evacuate the station. I'm hopeful we're not going to have to do that, but it's not impossible. And so it's going to be those kind of issues. I think the places that most often have issues with river flooding could have some issues tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be widespread. It's not going to be Irene or anything like that. So that's maybe a positive takeaway, and it will be windy. Okay, satellite. You can see the storm really is getting rocking. You see this feather motion coming off. You can kind of see these fingers that in the highest oranges there. That's a really good indication that we have a lot of lift happening, a lot of instability, and the storm is really gaining strength quickly. If we look at radar, we've got tornado watches going on down here across the southeast. We've got some really healthy lines of thunderstorms already happening. Lots of precipitation here over the southeastern United States. This is only going to enhance as it slides up the front, and you can see we've got a lot of kind of not quite so heavy rain to get through as well that will kind of prime the pump as we get to our 2 batches of heaviest rain. Temperatures also way up in temperatures. We're starting off cold, but we're going to get warm to hot for this time of year. Not really hot, but mid to upper 50s is definitely likely with dew points in the 50s. So if you walk outside tonight at midnight, it'll actually feel a little muggy, especially with how cold it's been. It's going to be very strange. And that'll basically, temperatures won't start to come back down until the front moves through, which will probably be sometime around noon tomorrow or just after. That'll shut off our rain. For the most part, we'll have just some lingering showers and temperatures. They're not going to crash, they're not going to flash freeze, but we will slide back down in a pretty healthy way through the afternoon. I think by evening we're probably back in the 40s, and by midnight tomorrow we're down below freezing again. So that will shut off snowmelt, which will mean that we don't have any like prolonged issues. It also should help keep our big mainstream rivers like the Connecticut River and things like that, should keep them where they need to be. So this is basically a smaller river issue today. Tomorrow. So storm highlights, like I said, been pushed back a little bit. Steadiest rain begins after 7 p.m. And that's not heavy rain after 7 p.m. I think if you're out for Christmas Eve, anything going on this evening, you're pretty good. I mean, it might be raining, but the winds don't really get going, and the heavy rain doesn't seem like it's going to get going until after midnight. So you're pretty good as long as you're home by late evening. Heaviest rain, like I said, midnight to noon tomorrow morning is just a bad time to be out and about. So if you can avoid it, do. Combination of very warm temperatures and heavy rain may lead to some flooding issues Christmas morning, and maybe even into early Christmas afternoon. There's a little bit of a delay there between the heaviest rain and when we get our highest river requests. Temps in the mid to upper 50s. Total rain 1 to 3. Possibility of up to 4. Like I said, 2 to 3 it seems the most likely. That would be enough to cause the rivers to come way up and be kind of right near roads. Anything more than 3 inches, I think we have some problems. Wind gusts of 45 to 55, maybe even 60 over the higher terrain could lead to some power outages. I think power outages are most likely in southern Vermont, in the western part of the state. So like if you're in Bennington or Rutland County, I think you're more likely there and across higher terrain. If you're on the western side, basically on the higher elevation parts of Windsor and Windham County, kind of along the spine of the Green Mountains, are problematic there. If you're on a southeast facing slope, that's where you're going to have the most problems probably. Quick look at the weekend forecast. After tomorrow, Saturday, we're cold and we clear out. We're still breezy. If you're hoping to get out and ski, Saturday's going to still be rough. They're going to be making snow and trying to recover from all the junk that comes through tomorrow. So Saturday will not be a great ski day. There could be wind holds and stuff like that too. We'll have a breezy northwest wind and chilly. Temperatures in the low 20s most of the day, and wind chill is near 10. So chill, I mean not crazy cold for this time of year, but chilly. Sunday's a much better ski day. Probably there will be a full day to recover. They'll be able to groom Saturday night. It'll be much better skiing on Sunday with a mix of sun and clouds. There could be some clouds moving in the afternoon, but winds will let up and it'll be a little bit warmer. We'll be near 30. In the mountains will be a little colder than that, but near 30 in the valleys on Sunday. So things get better as we head forward. We have some more weather to look at next week, but we will worry about that next week. Until then, be prepared for what's coming our way tonight. Be safe out there, and if you do have to travel tomorrow morning, be very cautious about it as you are, and if you can at all, just stay put and try to enjoy Christmas morning with those who you are with. And otherwise, we will see you soon. I want to say a quick thank you to my patrons who help support what I do here, and certainly if you want to get my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That helps. You just get notifications when my videos come out. We will be back again, or I will be back again, I should say, on Monday morning for a work week forecast.